This video features review items for board licensure examination for professional teachers focusing on general education English subject. Question 175. Which of the following lines is an example of hyperbole? Answer: A. And miles to go before I sleep. Choice A denotes exaggeration. What is a hyperbole? Hyperbole is a figure of speech which exaggerates an idea so vividly. Example: he was so hungry, he ate that whole cornfield for lunch, stalks and all. Question 176. From the lines from the poem Africa by David Diop, which of the following lines shows the use of alliteration? Answer: C. Line 3. In figures of speech, alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds. In line 3, the consonant sounds repeated is the sound B, beautiful black blood. Question 177. What figure of speech is used in lines 4 to 6? Answer: B. Climax. Climax is a figure of speech in which successive words, phrases, clauses, or sentences are arranged in ascending order of importance. Question 178. Which line does not represent a figure of speech? Answer: A. This is the end. Choice A does not denote any deeper meaning and simply has a literal meaning. The following are the descriptions of the other choices for your further readings. Question 179. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. This statement from Aristotle implies that. Answer: A. Pursuing education means one would experience hardship but will definitely achieve success in his career. Other choices express a different meaning. Choice B expresses a wrong idea as it emphasizes that education is simply about suffering. Choice C also expresses a wrong idea that education is the reason why people lose happiness. Lastly, choice D is also wrong that education does not necessarily cause downfall in one's life. Question 180. What type of creative nonfiction is presented in the given text? Answer: A. Memoir. Memoir is more concerned with emotional truth towards a particular section of one's life and how it makes you feel now. The following are the descriptions of the other choices for your further readings. Question 181. Which of the following literary elements are used in the text read? Answer: D. Storytelling or narration, figurative language, and point of view. Other choices have elements not used in the text. Question 182. Which among the following literary devices is most effective in delivering the message of the text? Answer: D. Point of view. Since a memoir is about a personal emotion about an important section in one's life, being written in the first person point of view gives the text a personal tone. Question 183. Philippine poetry can be considered rich even before the arrival of the Spaniards. Which of the following statements does not coincide with this sentence? Answer B. Major poetic forms that existed during the pre-Hispanic era include songs, riddles, epic, and essays. Only one word makes the sentence be wrong, which is the word essay. Essays became popular only during the succeeding eras. Question 184. Which of the following statements are true about national and regional literature? Answer D. Statements 1, 2, and 3. All statements express correct ideas about national and regional literature. Question 185. To effectively convey the meaning, what literary device was used in the stanza from the poem Third World Geography by Cirilo Bautista? Answer D. Dramatic situation. Dramatic situation in poetry is the underlying plot line that is created to place the characters in conflict with themselves or others. It is a literary tool that is used to force the audience to become emotionally invested in the poem. Question 186. I prefer a government run like hell by the Filipino. This quote by Manuel Quezon means answer B. Filipinos can better run their country. Other choices express the opposite of the intended idea. Question 187. Rizal gave the time of his death in this quotation, I die when the dawn breaks to herald the day. What is the time of his death? Answer B. Sometime at dawn. The keyword dawn already gives hint to the context of the sentence. Question 188. My loyalty to my parents ends where my loyalty to my country begins. This quotation is from blank. Answer C. Manuel L. Quezon. Other choices are inappropriate. Question 189. The Filipino is worth dying for. This is a quotation by blank. Answer B. Benigno Aquino. Other choices are inappropriate. Question 190. The famous work of Francisco Balagtas, Florante at Laura, which has 12 syllables in each line, is called blank. Answer B. An awit. Awit is a type of Filipino poem consisting of 12-syllable quatrains. It follows the pattern of rhyming stanzas established in the Philippine epic Passion. The following are the descriptions of the other choices for your further readings. Question 191. What literary device was used in this passage from the story Voice Tape by Ariel S. Tabag? Answer C. Flashback. A flashback is a scene that takes place before a story begins. Flashbacks interrupt the chronological order of the main narrative to take a reader back in time to the past events in a character's life. The following are the descriptions of the other choices for your further readings. Question 192. You see things that are, and you ask why, but I dream that never were, and ask why not. This quotation by Bernard Shaw simply reflects his answer D. Rich imagination. Keywords like see and dream express the visualization idea of the sentence. Question 193. Which of the following works of Shakespeare highlights the conflict between Capulet and Montague families? Answer D. Romeo and Juliet. Other choices are inappropriate. Romeo and Juliet is a tragedy written by William Shakespeare early in his career about two young star-crossed lovers whose deaths ultimately reconciled their feuding families. Question 194. The dilemma that Hamlet is referring to in his to be or not to be soliloquy had to do between choosing blank. Answer A. Suicide and murder. To be or not to be is the opening phrase of a soliloquy given by Prince Hamlet in the so-called nunnery scene of William Shakespeare's play Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. In the speech, Hamlet contemplates death and suicide, bemoaning the pain and unfairness of life but acknowledging that the alternative might be worse. Question 195. In Greek mythology, based on the myth of the Golden Apple, the goddess whom Paris chose promised the prize of blank. Answer D. The most beautiful mortal woman in the world. The myth of the Golden Apple is a story of the three goddesses Athena, Aphrodite, and Hera competing for the rightful owner of the golden apple with inscriptions to the fairest. The goddesses chose Paris, a shepherd who turned out to be the Prince of Troy, to make the judgment. Paris chose Aphrodite, who promised him the most beautiful woman in the world, who is Helen. This has become the trigger of the Trojan War. Question 196. In Homer's Iliad, the Trojan War was begun to blank. Answer B. Return the wife of Menelaus. As Helen was currently the wife of King Menelaus of Sparta, during Paris' abduction of Helen with the help of Aphrodite became the trigger of the Trojan War. Question 197. The most respected and famed writer of this period was Geoffrey Chaucer. He is known as the father figure in English literature. Which period is described in the previous statement? Answer A. Medieval period. Chaucer lived during the medieval period and the writer of the famous Canterbury Tales. Question 198. In English literature, Beowulf is an example of this genre. Answer A. Epic. An epic is a long narrative poem which is usually related to heroic deeds of a person of an unusual courage and unparalleled bravery. The following are the descriptions of the other choices for your further readings. Question 199. A man without a purpose is like a ship without a rudder. Thomas Carlyle. From this line, we can infer that blank. Answer C. There is a strong driving force in one's life. A rudder is a primary control surface used to steer a ship. Hence, the quotation pertains to having a driving force in one's life. Question 200. In the Psalm of David, what is meant by the lines below? Answer D. He will always be provided with peace and prosperity. few words, green pastures and still waters express the idea of prosperity and peace respectively.